Hey, everybody. I'm going to be talking about something a little different than what I normally talk about. I am going to tie it into polarity, of course, because I tie everything into polarity. I want to talk about what's going on in the world today. I haven't been talking about it much publicly the last 2 years, but it's super important and things are really picking up speed right now. So, what's going on is central banks are crashing the world's economies on purpose, right? They're crashing all asset values. They're going to crash housing. They're going to crash crypto. They're going to crash the stock market. They're going to crash pretty much everything. Now, how bad is it going to get? I don't know. It depends how high they decide to raise interest rates and how much liquidity they decide to drain from the markets, right? Um, Asset values could crash 90% if they chose to do so. They wanted to go that route. It's a very real possibility. And I bring this up, right? This is really important in itself. And if you're not aware of what's going on in the world economically and otherwise, you should really, really get aware really quickly because it's going to get pretty ugly. But I bring it up and I want to tie this into polarity and self development in general, right? Because people, I think many people have been in such a false sense of security regarding asset prices. And the two big, well, it's really the three big ones, right? The housing, stock market, and cryptocurrencies. And it's really sad and tragic. I've had prospective clients on calls where they really want to transform their love life, create the relationship of their dreams, right? Become a dominant man or become a truly radiant woman, whatever it is. And they're so, I had one woman who decided to uh, take a mortgage on a new house in 2022. That's going to end up being one of the worst investments or worst investments of her entire life. Could have told her that, but she chose to do that without contacting me first. I've had guys who have had like $100,000 in crypto that decided to turn down my program. Why? Because they were terrified of letting go of a small percentage of their crypto, right? And this is all fear-based decisions, and it's not going to end well because we have this false sense of safety that these assets are going to go up forever, right? This has been a 14-year bubble. It's not going to go up forever. Now, eventually, prices are going to hyperinflate as currencies become completely worthless, right? But that doesn't mean the value is going to increase. And I'm not saying that cryptocurrency isn't going to be a great bet long term. It very may well be, and I've hedged my bets with some. But what I am saying is, if you think that if you're putting your security in that, you have a real false sense of security. Most people that have been in the markets for the last 14 years have no idea what it's like in the real world, right? In the non-artificial world of artificial liquidity being pumped into markets. I invested in the stock market when I was a teenager. I invested it during the dot-com bubble. I know what it's like to lose most of my money. I had tens of thousands of dollars as a kid, and I lost almost all of it because I thought I understood a lot more than I did. So ever since that time period in my life, it really shifted something for me, and I really started focusing on investing in myself rather than in assets. That doesn't mean I don't invest in assets. I do, but I really started prioritizing investing in myself. And I'm so glad I did. I'm actually so glad that I lost so much money in the stock market. It ended up being one of the best things that have ever happened to me because it shifted my perspective in such a positive direction, right? The best investments I've ever made in my life have been investing in myself, right? Investing in myself as a man, especially like socially, emotionally, with women, as a business owner, right? I've invested in Bitcoin, I've invested in crypto, and I've gotten great returns, and it's really nothing comparable to the investment in myself. I can't lose the investment in myself unless I have a stroke. I'm not going to experience a asset crash with my investment in myself. I can't be taxed on my investment in myself. It can't be stolen. It's mine forever, and it continues to pay dividends, and it will always pay dividends for the rest of my life. How awesome is that, right? Um, and people that have put so much of their money in these other assets, unless central banks reverse course really soon, you're probably going to lose everything. I hate to say it, but you probably are going to lose everything. If you've just recently bought a house this year, you're probably going to lose it. It's probably going to go underwater. But anyone who invests in a transformative program, you're going to look back on it and see it as the best decision or one of the best decisions of your entire life. Now, I'm not saying that that has to be my program. I'm not saying that has to be the academy. For people who really want to transform their love lives and polarize the crap out of their love lives, there's a pretty good chance that that's the top priority. Then, yeah, of course, my program is probably the best solution, or certainly one of them, or it is for most people anyway, right? Now, if your focus is on business or it's on sustainability or whatever, okay, invest in yourself in that way. It's such an amazing investment. Like, I look back on all the things that I've invested in myself in, and I don't regret any of it. I don't regret any of it, because it's always, no matter what happens externally, it's going to end up helping me in life, helping me get through life. Now, if we're talking about me as a man, right, like my masculine agency, my ability to create, my ability to provide, my ability to protect, right, all of these investments help me do that. My ability to do that with my wife and with my community and with my business, with my online community, with everything. And then for a woman, of course, a woman can invest in that kind of way too, though there's a lot of masculine energy in that. The other thing that a woman can do, though, is invest in her radiance, invest in her vulnerability. Now, you might be wondering, why the hell would that be important when things are crashing and Klaus Schwab wants to take everything from us so that we own nothing and we're happy, except that of course we'd actually be miserable. Well, it does matter a lot. It does matter because really, for anyone who knows what's going on in the world today, knows where we're headed, knows that we are in for at least a few years of really shitty experience, where our survival is going to be on the line in a lot of ways. I want you to ask yourself this question. So if you're in a relationship right now as a woman, do you want to experience that the next few years? They're already bad, right? Things are already going bad in your relationship. Now, do you want to add all of the stress of survival and food prices skyrocketing and your house price collapsing and all this kind of stuff? No, it's going to make things way worse, right? It's going to add to the dysfunction exponentially. That's why this is so important. And now, how are you guys going to function? How is your man going to be able to create, provide more when there's that level of dysfunction? It's going to be really difficult. And then, of course, if you're single, well, do you really want to deal with the next few years that we're in for alone? I really, I really feel bad for women. If anything, more about this than anything, single women, especially with children, who that's what they are faced with, right? Because they are living in their own dysfunction, right? Their relationship with themselves, they're masculinized and repelling men, or at least repelling the kind of men that are going to be able to weather what's coming, right? The kind of man that you actually want, the kind of man that can not only pleasure you in the bedroom really well, but can also keep you alive and safe and protected in the real world. That's really important, right? That, like, there's going to be so much misery that's coming, and people really need to make a choice. Really got to make this choice. Do you want to proactively shift your reality, shift your energy, shift your vibration? We can call it, I don't really speak much in those terms, but we can call it that, right? Shift yourself in every way and front run what's coming, right? So you can start creating a new, much better reality for yourself. Or do you want to just wait till we all fall off the cliff and you're going to be forced into that change, right? I'm going to tell you, if you get forced into that change, it's going to be so much more painful, especially for women. It's going to be it's going to be so traumatic. It's going to be horrible. It really is going to be horrible. And so when I, promote my work, my polarity work, I'm really thinking about this stuff, right? Because I've known about what's coming for 14 years now. I've been really aware. I've been preparing. I've been doing everything. And this is, this kind of work is really important to do before it all comes to pass. It really, really is. Because you're going to be really blindsided otherwise. You want to be in a place, like for women, you want to be in a place where you can attract and inspire devotion, protection, provision. And as a man, you want to be able to command the respect of, not just a woman, but, your community, other people to follow you. Um, you need to have leadership skills. You need to have the ability to provide, to protect. You need to be able to command respect. This is super important stuff. And we are going to be shifting into something, I think, years, probably maybe quite a few years down the road, so much better than what we're experiencing right now. And certainly what we're going to be experiencing, 2023, 2024. But we got to get to the other side first. And I want to bring as many people as possible through this energetic shift in yourself, right? So you can start creating something so much better before you're forced into it. You got to suffer to do this healing, but it's going to be a hell of a lot more painful if you choose to do it the hard way. Now, and of course, I'm not saying that, hey, you know right now is the best time for everybody to do, my academy, for example. But at least start doing something. Like at least start doing everything that you can to make these shifts, whether you're in a relationship right now or whether you're single. Take it extremely seriously, because you're going to be taking it extremely seriously later when you're forced to. Right? You have that opportunity now to listen to me before it gets really bad. So here's what, if you're interested in my work, right, the polarity, learning masculine communication as a man, learning how to lead, learning how to be emotionally centered in any situation, learning how to fully provide and protect for a woman, and as a woman, learning how to inspire a man using feminine communication, vulnerability, letting go of all control. The best way to really step into my work is to join my next masterclass. It's such an easy step. It's $47. I've got two of them coming up at the end of May on the 21st and the 31st. Might be one day later for the Australians. And you'll learn 2 hours of how to solve your love life problems using communication, right? And I don't care what your problems are. If your problems are, you're not attracting the right kind of person when you're single, right? You keep driving people away. You're driving the right people away. If you're a woman, you just get used for sex, or you're man, you're getting used for money. Or if you're in a relationship and you're just having arguments, or the sex life has gone to hell, or there's you're like roommates together, right? And you're just not having fun. There's none of that intimacy. There's none of that connection. If these are your problems, you can really start shifting that just by joining our masterclass. Now, I'm not saying this is the ultimate solution, but this is one step forward that's really going to help you shift some important things by learning about how to communicate this, seeing what it actually looks like in role plays, right? With Mark Benet role playing this out. It's such a powerful experience, and everybody should do it, right? Nobody really has an excuse to not pay that kind of money. It's so affordable. You can start making these shifts immediately, implementing them into your love life, whether you're man or woman, single or in a relationship. I want to see everybody there. I want to see everybody who watches this video there. I want to see you sign up. So if you're interested and you want to take that next step, send me a private, or sorry, how am I doing this? I want you to write below in the comments, I want in. That's all you got to write. I want in. I will find your comment and I will send you a private message. I will send you the link and you can sign up and I will see you there and you can take that first step to really start changing things. It's up to you. Don't procrastinate. We're done procrastinating. We don't have more time to procrastinate with this or with anything. Let's get serious. Sign up, say I want in, and I'll take care of the rest. I'll send you a message. I'll see you in the masterclass.